Hi friends, this is Becky Lewis in Central Indiana, and today I am going to finally bring you these pictures from the night of the Alabama object capture on 6/26. First I want to make a quick clarification. In the video I said it was June 25th, but it was in fact June 26th because it was after midnight and I was looking at the wrong thing anyway, so it was about starting at 2:25 a.m. What you see here is the first still shot that I took, and then on the enlargement we have this. This has had a little bit of contrast done to it to bring out as much detail as possible. So, and also friends, before I go any further, I want to thank Pete, WDHCO, I guess it's WDH Company. I would like to thank Pete very much for his analysis video that he did on my original video. So please go over to Pete WDH Company, or WDHC with a small O. I will have that linked below. Friends, please go check that out. He did a fantastic job of proving that this object is in fact moving. So okay friends, well, I hope you're sitting down. Let's go. This is the first shot close up that I took. That was zoomed in all the way. And the reason I'm doing this through my picture manager thing is so that I can zoom in and do some lighting and stuff like that. Friends, this is going to be a longer video. I just can't do it any sooner if people want to see this stuff all zoomed in. Now look at this, friends. Look at that. Zoom in a little more. Just look at this. It almost, I mean, from this shot, it almost looks like a bunch of crystals or something like that. It reminds me of a crystal for some reason. But, and as you can see, friends, it goes further out, and there's just a lot of smaller stuff on out. I just wanted you to see some of this zoomed in and all that instead of just going picture to picture, because this is just astounding, friends. Absolutely astounding. And we get to be here for it. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? There's just so much. Just so much. Okay, well let me get on to the next picture. Friends, I'm going to have to do a separate video after this with the different filters and things, because as it is, it takes a while to go through these pictures. And so, actually I don't want to go to the next picture yet. I would like to, whoops, let me do it. I would like to do some color change on this. I don't want to use color. I'm just going to take down the saturation completely so we can get, in essence, a black and white shot here. Wow. Okay, now I do want to go back and take down some light and do some contrast and all that. We'll see. See if it shows anything. And friends, please excuse the whining sound in my computer. I'm working on trying to get on a different computer so I don't have all that. Wow. That was just light. I'm going for a little contrast, and then I'll probably turn the light back up. Wow. Sorry for the silence, friends. This is kind of a shocker. This is my third attempt at this video, friends. Third attempt. The first two, I was not near as calm in going through this because it was just so amazing, so astounding. And I do have other video that I had already put together and all that, but it was just so long. But friends, there's just no way I can do this in any less time. There's so much here. There's so much here. So I'll do the filters and stuff on the next video. But look at that. I might also make the original video that I did available without the sound, just because there's different things that I did in that I, you know, you never do things twice the same exact way. So, but anyway, okay, friends, well, let me get to the next picture. There's just so much. I may even pause this and restart to add more to it. So, okay, next shot. Oh, that was an enlargement. That was an enlargement anyway, which we can do ourselves just by zooming in. So this was an enlargement of the previous picture we just looked at. You know what? Let me turn down the light and stuff while it's still in color. This one's the mid-tone. Tiny bit of contrast here. Let me zoom it back down and see what it looks like. Wow. Tad more contrast. A little less mid-tone. Wow. Turn down the brightness a little bit. Turn the mid-tone back up. And friends, there is no color added whatsoever. This is the color that my camera picked up when I snapped these pictures. I have not added one bit of color. Wow. So friends, my goodness, what do you think? I mean, this is just this crazy. But friends, we cannot be living in fear of every single thing out there. If you just waste all your time living in fear, you'll miss all the fabulous, astounding, mind-blowing things that we get to see. We have been given the opportunity to be here, to see these things, friends. Absolutely astounding. So, okay. Wow. Just awesome. Okay, next shot. Okay, this one has already been enlarged and had a little light and contrast adjusted on it. And so you can see, friends, you can see all this bits of stuff that goes out and around it. Look at that. Let me put this in black and white real quick, or in not black and same difference, but take out the saturation here. Wow. I'll leave just a little bit in there. Let's see what that's all about. I'm going to go back to the contrast and stuff here. A little bit more light. Turning down mid-tone adjustment. And up. Just want to see what all it's doing, friends. Some more contrast, maybe. Wow. Turn down the brightness again. Wow. Well, that one doesn't bring out near as much to do that. It probably looked better just as it was. Okay, friends. Let's go to the next shot. Whoops. It's still up on zoom. So as you can see, friends, they all look pretty much alike. But when you go down through them and turn the light down really good on all of them and go from one shot to the next, you can see that there's been movement. So I may go through and do some work on these pictures so that you can see these different things and see the movement. So, and again, I still have the video to show you the filters, friends. I just won't have time today because I'm trying to go through these pictures as quickly as I can, but I don't want to go too fast, friends. There's an awful lot here. This is just one of the most mind-blowing things ever for me, and I have seen an awful lot of strange things in my life, friends. It's been par for the course for me my whole life to have unusual experiences But I have to say, this is definitely one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I mean, I swear that almost looks like towering crystals to me until you see all the light pulled down, and there's just so much here, friends. So I may go ahead and release the other video as well. I just won't put comments on it. You can refer them to the main video. I'll just turn the sound down because I did other work on those while I was on the video. Okay, well. Wow. Just wow. Take down the mid-tone or the saturation on that all the way. A little tiny bit of contrast. Wow. And Kitty's coughing. Poor little girl. She's been outside last couple of days, breathing those chemtrails, friends. Even my cats go through coughing. Well, the two I have left now, she's the only one that goes outside. But, okay, well, next shot. Okay, friends. Here's yet another one. This might be the copy of the one from before here. That one was probably an enlargement. You have got to see the filters and stuff though, friends. Just absolutely crazy. Wow. Whoops, wrong thing. Pardon my silence here, friends, while I concentrate on this. I don't really know what to say. I just don't know what to say, friends. This is beyond my comprehension. I don't know what to say about it. I really don't. I mean, it is what it is. I can't help whatever it is that I filmed, friends. I just can't help whatever this is. But I know it is so astounding and amazing, and I know I feel so grateful to be here in these days, friends. And I feel that now more than ever is the time to lift each other up in love and do everything we can to help in any way that we can, anywhere that we can. This is one of the most astounding things that I have ever seen in my life, friends. And I just can't help but feel so grateful to be here. Let's move on. Okay, here's the next shot that I did from far away. And then zoomed in. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It didn't come out in the computer, so let me go ahead and just do this. So there you have it, friends. That's the far away shot. I'm going to go ahead and turn this down a little more. Maybe not. This one's already been worked with light and contrast, I think. Looks like it anyway. Yeah. Wow. We'll turn down some light here all the way to the end and see Wow. This is mid-tone going back up. Turn some brightness back down. Wow, why won't that head of light like tone down? This is brightness going all the way down. Back up. Huh. Okay, friends, well, I don't know. It is what it is. Let's go to the next shot. So this was the far away shot. And then I zoomed back in again. Whoops. There we go. Now on most all of these, you see the kind of brightness that's around that, right? That you can just see some of this out here. I'm going to turn the brightness up. So it requires turning the brightness up and contrast and all that to bring out these bring out more of these outer edges, okay? But what I really find interesting, friends, is that for a couple of shots in a row that I took, it was like very lighted around it. Here's the next shot, and I'll show you those two really lighted shots here in just a minute. So I want to go on this one, I want to go ahead and go back to the saturation, take out the color. Wow, look at that, friends. Just look at that. Take this back down so you can see. Wow, that is astounding. I'm going to go back to the light and contrast here. Oops. Well, I don't want the light to blow out because I want you to see this. I want you to see this. Look at that. Is that crazy? Now, friends, look at this. To me, these almost look like dipped craters, or I don't know what. I don't know what. But it's just, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Let me enlarge it a little more so you can see this. Hang on. Turn down the mid-tone a little more because I want you to see those edges. Brightness. Well, I guess that glowing's going down as far as it's going to for this purpose. Okay. So anyway, friends, you can see, if you can see what I see, it's like edges on these things. Actual edges that to me almost seem to stand out. Let me turn this mid-tone down a little more. Look at that. See how it looks like it's like raised or something right there? To me, it does. So who knows? I mean, is this light emitting out of this object or what? Okay, let me zoom this back down so you can see the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to play with it just a little more here. Wow. Just Wow. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that, friends. I just don't even know what to say to that. Look at that. Look at that. That is very, very tight there. Let me turn this back up. Okay, I don't want that blended light there. So friends, I will get to the filters and things like that. You have to see these objects in the other things that I've done and show this. This is just, it's just astounding, and there's no way that I can prove any of this to you. I'm just showing you what I got, and that's all I can do. It's up to any of you to decide what you think it is. But friends, please, please do not live in fear over every single thing that we see. These wonders are here to amaze you, astound you, and blow your mind. I know it is mine. Wow. So, okay, well, next shot. Okay. This one. And again, friends, once we go through this and I can darken them all and save them and do them side by side, we can see if there's been movement, you know, among the stuff. And when I do frame by frame, I find things where it is actually moving across. Like in 3 frames, it had 3 moves. So, but I just want you to see these things close up. Whatever they are, whatever it is. Wow. Wow. This up here gets me to this pointy thing. It's, you know, pretty crazy. Okay, well, let's take out the color here and see what we've got. Come on, you. The computer's being slow. There we go. Okay. Stick this down and look at it first. This almost looks like it has defined definition of being upright from a distance. I don't know. What do you think? Let's try a little bit of contrast here. Oh. Want that light to blend. Going back down with the mid-tone. Slightly more contrast. Look at that, friends. Look at that. Let me turn down the zoom so you can get a broader view. The more contrast we do, the more it takes out all the smaller bits and just leaves the bigger ones. Let me turn the light up a little bit. Wow. Friends, I do not know what to tell you. That is just the craziest thing. Just the craziest thing. So even turning down brightness at this point isn't really taking out that connection. I'm a non-techie friend, so I do the best I can when I'm going through pictures and stuff like that. I'm just trying to get a different view of it in different ways. But you've got to see the filters on this stuff. Okay, so anyway, next shot. Okay, this one's now at 2:44 a.m. And as I said, Pete, WDHCO, or WDH Company, an analysis video, friends, that proves that this object was moving. He put a grid line up, and where I had put that video on and left to go get Paula, and I left it there for quite some time in a row without moving it, he put a grid line under there and proved that this object is moving. And he did a fantastic job. I've never been, one to ask other people to cover my videos, but Pete came and asked with respect and was willing to not have commercials or fear porn on it, and so, friends, that's an honorable man right there. Please go check out his channel and subscribe. Okay, look at this, friends. I want you to see in this picture, this particular picture, how much was picked up. Look at all these little dots and bits in here. Look at all that. Look at that, friends. Wow. Wow. Wowie wow. Okay, well, I'm going to do a tad bit of contrast on this. Try to bring out just a little bit more detail, if possible. Turn down the mid-tone first this time. Try to get rid of some of that brightness in the main object here. Unfortunately, it does take out a lot of the smaller objects, but not all of them. Turn that back up a tad bit. Okay. Look at that. See, that jagged thing, whatever it is still there. So I want to shrink this down just a little bit. I want to go ahead and take out the color again. And see. Whoops, wrong thing. Again, I did this again. I went to the wrong thing here. Like I said, friends, I'm not a techie. I do the best I can, though. Okay, so back to where I was. Okay. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Get all those dots, and well, they're probably not dots, but they're definitely separate little objects, and they weren't there in the other one. Wow. Huh. Trying to take that light out so we can see these objects in the middle a little better. No, that's not going to work either. Well, friends, you're definitely going to have to see the filters, I'll tell you, because they just show a lot of crazy stuff. And Pete, you already know you have my permission, so feel free and use your filters and all that. But friends, I definitely want to put out the filtered version here pretty soon. So don't mind me while I just play with this a little bit. I'm just trying to see what different things do. So, but okay, well, next shot, because I want to show you, friends. I want you to see that there was like 2 pictures in a row I took that had already some other kind of brightness coming from them in order to light that picture up. Check this out. Oh, this one isn't it. Okay, well, we're still getting to it. So again, friends, most of these pictures do look the same, but when I had them all, you know, darkened and looking at them before, they do seem to look like there's things that have moved and changed, but some things just don't change like this. And the main things here don't seem to change, but I haven't looked at them that closely yet. So we'll see. But whatever it was, friends, this object was flickering in the sky, and that's how it caught my attention. Now I know this video is long, and I'm sorry if it's too boring for you, but I think that, you know, people have a right to see these things close up, and I can't do that by just slapping on some pictures with music. I want you to see this, friends. It's one of the most astounding things ever. Ever. So, just look at that towering bits. Okay, so I just want to get on to the next shot. I wanted you to see that. Oh, I guess I should at least do the saturation down on this, because friends, taking the color out and stuff like that sometimes makes other things more apparent. And just look at the spherical nature of this. And this out here, these look like separate objects. That is just the craziest thing. I don't know why, but look at it. It looks like it has a trail that goes back. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Let me do some contrast on this real quick, just a little bit. See what happens. Take down the mid-tone adjustment a little bit here. Oh, and what happened to those cratery looking things? I don't see it the same in this particular shot. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. This time there's like something looking like it's blocking. It's like some kind of thing right here that wasn't there before. Wow. Let me see if I can turn down some more light, friends. No, it's not going to work. So, I do not know. That's just so weird up here, this little ropey looking thing going by there. Okay, well friends, I'm really curious of what you'll think when you see these other shots that have the extra light in them. So I'm trying to get to it here. Here we go. Boom! This is the shot. This is the original shot, friends. I had zoomed all the way up like I had before, trying to get this. This is really all I was seeing when I was taking pictures. I was seeing the bright light with a little bit of extra light off to the side. It just looked like it was something that had lines all over it or something. But anyway, so look at this, friends. I have not added any light, no contrast, nothing. This is the original shot as taken at 3:06 a.m. Okay, so there was this one, and then next you can see still at 3:06 a.m. because I had taken 2 shots in a row. Still, you can see brighter light out here, but not as bright as this one. And every picture was taken at 800 ISO, friends. I never changed my ISO the entire time. The entire time. In filming, it was also filmed in 800. In filming and in snapshots, it was on 800. So how, how this got to be so much brighter in these 2 shots, I do not know. But look at that, friends. You can see. Look at all that. And as I said, this red color is the way it was when I took the shot. So you be the judge. You be the judge, friends. I'm going to knock this out with the color here. Wowzers. And look, that blocking thing, that thing that was in that other shot, I think, is gone, or it's moved. Maybe this is the object and it was just kind of moved or something, or did something different. But some of this stuff seems to be like a permanent fixture the way it is, and other things seem to be moving around. Look, there's those dot things again too. Look at that. There's all those dot things again. Come here, you. Zoom down, not up. Oh, that was cool. Okay, guess we'll go up. Look at that. Is that crazy? Look at that, friends. That is just the craziest thing. And whatever all these things are. Look at all that. Look at that, friends. Is that crazy? Not a flying cheese sandwich, but maybe it is a flying campfire. Again, friends, go see Pete's video. You've got to see that. He did an excellent analysis, and that grid proves that this object was, in fact, moving. And go back to that final shot here. This is the final shot that I took before I went in, or before I went back to video, I believe it was, and then I believe I went in. I just can't remember exactly in what order, friends, because I was so exhausted. Paula and I had been up for 48 hours with the exception of a teeny weeny little like couple hour nap in between, and we both were exhausted and I wasn't thinking. Had I been thinking clearly, I would have stood and done several shots in a row, friends. I didn't. I thought I don't know what I thought. I was in shock because I can't comprehend what I'm looking at, friends. I couldn't comprehend it then. That's why I kept trying to shake Paula awake. That's why I went and woke my husband. Because I just couldn't comprehend and couldn't accept what I was seeing. Whatever it is. Am I terrified of this? No, friends. I am just astounded and amazed that I get to be here to see these things. And so do you. We get to see this, friends. Please take it for the blessing that it is. I mean, really? Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to knock the... Whoops, wrong thing again. I'm going to knock the color out on this. Get one look at it, and then I'll end this video. And then, friends, please, I'm going to make another video that's got all the filters and stuff that you've got to see. You've just got to see. Okay, well, go back and do just a little bit of contrast and all that. Take out a little brightness. Whoops, not that much. Delayed response again on my computer. Alright. Went the wrong way. I'm so sorry, friends. This is giving me problems. Like I said, this is my third attempt at this video. You'd not believe everything that's come against me to try and get this video out. So I'm just doing what I can. There's other footage where I did other things and showed it even better than this. Plus I have the filter, so that's it, friends. I'm about done with this here until I put out that other video that I already did before this one, because it does look different and different things were brought out. I just did it differently, and you know, what can I say? Alright, friends. Wow. Well, let me go back to one of these other shots here. Now that I've already messed with everything, I'll have to go and close it out to get my colors back. Let me do that real quick. Okay. Alright, now I have that available, but I just wanted to go through these now with you real quick without doing anything to them, and then I'll let you go, friends. So this was the first original distant shot. The zoom up, with some contrast added. Shot number 2. Or this was actually the first shot zoomed up. And there it is zoomed up even further. Light and contrast adjusted a little bit. I believe this is the one that Paula did for me. Paula Gilly. And here's the original shot of this next shot, but this was zoomed up a little bit, I believe. Or just cropped. Okay, yeah, I think it was this shot. Okay, here's the second shot that I took at a distance and then zoomed up after. Here's the shot zoomed up a little bit here. And then I zoomed back in. And did you pay attention to the time stamp on that? Sorry, couldn't help myself. And here at 3:06, I got this bright flash of light in and of itself. I do not know how my camera could 2 times in a row catch a lot more light without changing the ISO, friends. And then the final shot. And then that's it. So friends, I want to thank you so much for being patient, waiting for the pictures, and if you made it through this whole video, well, bravo to you. And I'm sorry it took so long, but I just wanted to be able to zoom up and show you some details. So Pete, I look forward to any more analysis that you might have on these pictures, my friend. And friends, all of you, please go to Pete WDH Company, his channel, and I will link the video below that he already did the analysis of the original video. So please check that out. And check out Paula Gilly's channel. Friends, if you want to see where I was standing, and you know, or where I was shooting, the video that Paula put out from when I was there, where she's aiming up in the sky and there's the sunset and stuff over there and all that, that is where the object was, only I was standing down in the yard instead of up on that porch that we were standing on while we were filming that. So anyway, friends, check it out. Much love to you all. Keep the peace, friends. Keep your hearts open. No fear. Please do not hold fear in all of this. We are here to see these magnificent, astounding, profound things that are given to us. Much love to all. Bye for now.